Good morning. It's Chris here again, and today is May 12th, and today's Tuesday devotional to TeVo comes from Matthew chapter 11, verse 28 through 30. And this is what it says. This is Jesus speaking. It says, "Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." And so this week we wanted to talk more about the practical side of what it means to observe Sabbath. Last week we talked about the meaning of it, why God commands us, why God sees this as a very important thing to observe Sabbath, and some of the challenges that are presented, the practical challenges, is technology. And although in this day and age, especially in these times during the pandemic, technology has been a wonderful gift that we know that we as humanity can turn those gifts, God's gifts, into uh, curses, actually. And so technology, yes, it's really helped us to connect as people, but it's also kind of destroyed the boundaries between our home and work. And so one of the biggest things that we see right now are people working from home, um, having access to their emails all the time, having being able to schedule meetings from their bedrooms or their offices. And what this has created is this other pandemic of multitasking, right? Sometimes we value, as humanity, we value multitasking. But Clifford Nass, a professor of psychology from Stanford, says this about multitasking. He says that multitasking is a myth that wastes more time than it saves. That constant engagement with technology may be killing our concentration and creativity rather than cultivating them. And I think this is so profound, especially in this day and age. We think that we want to get as much done as possible and fit it into a workday. But unfortunately, because we are so stretched thin that we cannot focus on a few things and do them well, rather than we're forced uh, to do many things in a very mediocre way. And so, with that said, I wanted to offer a couple of practical ways in which we can observe Sabbath, that we could avoid this idol of being productive and being a multitasking and utilizing all our gifts and being stretched thin. The first thing I think is important is ceasing. As we know, God created the world and humanity in 6 days. And on the seventh day, he rested. And what that meant was that he ceased from his work. And some of the things that we need to do is to unplug technology, unplug our phones, turn them off. One of the things that I try to do once a week is to just put my do not disturb function on my phone and not check it. And usually this takes place from sunset to sundown. This is rooted in how Jewish tradition, they observe Sabbath from sunset to sundown. And to stop work, just literally stop doing what you're doing and focus and get some rest by sleeping, by napping, by doing things that we enjoy. And so another thing that we also need to understand is it's not only about ceasing, it's also about communing with God. Sometimes we think Sabbath is, I'm going to do nothing and I'm going to sleep all day until one in the afternoon. No, there's also an active quality to it in which we are communing with God, that we are being intentional with Him, that we are designed to grow with Him, to experience His presence, to be shaped by Him. And so what do? We eat. We make an extravagant dinner. We sit around a table with our community, with the people that we love and care about, and we dine with them. Now that we could take personal retreats, we can go on a walk. We can go on a hike and sit on top of the mountainside and just journal and write something down, write some of our thoughts or prayers down. Another thing is spending time with friends, of doing something that you all enjoy together. And these are all ways in which practical ways in which we can commune with God, because communing means enjoying God, enjoying the things that He has given us, not to the point where we idolize them, but enjoying them in light of and with a thankful heart of who God is. And so this week, I really hope that you will take some time to not only cease from the things that you are doing, cease from the activities that sometimes demand so much of your attention and energy and time, but also commune with God, to be replenished by His Spirit, to enjoy Him and who He and how much He loves you. So thank you. Have a wonderful week.